All right, welcome back to the Team O'Neill Rally School. I'm Wyatt. What we're going to talk about today is high-speed driving with all-wheel drive cars. It might be a little bit different than what you're used to if you drive rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive or anything else. And just to cover this base right now, we're talking about high-speed driving. We're talking about coming into corners fast, rotating the car under braking, and carrying speed. If you're out in the parking lot kind of trying to do your best Ken Block impression with an STI, that's a little bit different. You should do that too, but just know the throttle steering thing isn't going to work at higher speeds. If you've got a 30-mile-an-hour corner and you're doing 40, 50, 60 miles an hour, you can't turn the wheel and hit the gas and just hope that you make it. You're going to be off in the raspberry bushes kind of picking broken glass out of your hair wondering what went wrong. You've got to be really good on the brakes. So what are the actual skills that you need to be really fast with an all-wheel drive car like this? 3. Number 1 is threshold braking. Number 2 is braking in turns. Number 3 is trail braking, which is really just a combination of the first two. What is threshold braking? Threshold braking is the maximum amount of brake pressure you can use on any surface without locking the brakes up completely and sliding off the road. It's super useful. It works on all surfaces and really all different kinds of cars, not just all-wheel drive cars. When you get good at threshold braking, it gives you the confidence to drive really, really fast, on the higher speed sections, because you've got the skills where if you get in a little over your head, you can stop really quickly. The second most important skill you need to have in an all-wheel drive car, really any car that you're kind of rallying around a little bit, is braking in turns. You've probably heard people tell you, don't brake in corners, it's dangerous. Well, in reality, if you're driving fast on unpredictable roads, it's going to happen to you where you get that same 30-mile-an-hour corner. Oh crap, we're doing 40. You're gonna have to brake a little bit in the corner, and it's no big deal. You just need to practice that and learn, when I brake in the corner, if I brake too much, I go straight off. If I don't brake enough, I don't slow down and I go straight off. But there's a happy medium in the brake pedal where if you can feel what's going on and feel what the tires are doing, you can brake quite a lot in a corner when you get it right. It's very common in rally cars to intentionally brake in a corner because that shifts the weight onto the front. It makes the back end slide around. Here at the rally school, we say lift, turn, brake, lift, turn, brake. Coming into the slalom corners, it's just to get the car to rotate, and you just carve a really nice line around the turn. So once you get good at threshold braking and braking in turns, you can mix the two together and you end up with trail braking. We've got specific videos all about how to trail brake. You can go check those out on our YouTube channel. But basically, if you've got a 30-mile-an-hour turn, you're doing 100 miles an hour, you need to brake hard in a straight line before you get there, dump most of that speed off, and then ease off from threshold braking to gently braking in the corner. That's how you carry a tremendous amount of speed and brake very late coming into corners, is with trail braking. So if you can practice that, that's a really important skill to have. If you can do pendulum turns as well, wonderful, and handbrake turns, and there's 100 different skills that you could have. But if all you can do is threshold brake and brake in turns and maybe get good at trail braking, you can win rallies like that. People do it every day. So if you're trying to learn this stuff and you really want to get good at driving an all-wheel drive car like this at the limit, shameless plug, that's why a bunch of people come through here at the Team O'Neill Rally School, and we do it for, a week long, and you just drive fast all week and don't think about anything else, and it's wonderful. If you can't come here for, any number of reasons, how can you learn this stuff on your own? If you've got an all-wheel drive car like this, what you need to do is find snow and ice if you can, or at least gravel or somewhere sort of safe to experiment at low speed and slide around and learn this stuff. And number 1, you've got to pull your ABS fuse, your traction control, your stability control, the switch on the brake pedal that goes to cut the engine if you left foot brake, and kill all the electronics and get your car back to like a good analog starting point that you can learn to drive on. 2 reasons behind that. The first reason is if you've got all of those safety systems active in a car like this, you're only going to be able to drive it at 70% of its actual potential. It's not going to stop well, it's not going to turn well, it's not going to slide around corners, so it's just not going to work that well. The second reason you need to pull the ABS and all that other stuff is it's kind of like, you know, learning to swim with a life jacket on. And you're never going to win a swimming race with a life jacket on, and if you take that thing off, you're going to sink because you never really learned how to swim. All of that muscle memory and instinct and training that you've done with an ABS equipped vehicle isn't going to work that well. You know, the first time you hit the brakes, you're going to lock them up. So just for the sake of, you know, you wouldn't build a house on a swamp, you've got to get a good solid foundation, get rid of all that crap, and start from ground zero. You can practice and get good at threshold braking and braking in turns with just your right foot, but what you'll find, if you get good at left foot braking, that's going to open a lot of really interesting doors for you. One of them being just reaction time. You know, you can go to threshold braking basically instantly at any point. And another being the ability to multitask really quickly and really micromanage your weight transfer, which is really all you're doing with an all-wheel drive car, is when you're in a corner, pushing that nose down and making the back end light so that it slides around. If you're only using your right foot, it's going to be jerky. If you can use your left and right feet and have a little bit of overlap, you can really smoothly control the weight transfer of your car, and that'll get you around corners really nicely. You know, there's a dozen other reasons why you might left foot brake in a car like this. And if you have questions on that stuff, leave it in the comments. You know, we're happy to tell you about more of, you know, can you use left foot braking for traction control? Yes. Can you use it instead of ABS to keep the tires from locking by keeping a little throttle on? Absolutely. Can you settle the suspension of the car over rough terrain using left foot braking? Absolutely. You know, there's a ton of reasons for left foot braking. So as you get better with an all-wheel drive car, definitely start phasing that in and start getting comfortable with it. It's just going to give you a lot more tools in your toolbox that you'll be able to use when you need them. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been informative and you've enjoyed it. If you're into this kind of videos, definitely make sure you take a look at subscribing to the channel and hit the little bell icon so you get notifications when new videos are uploaded. If you're interested in the Team O'Neill Rally School, you can come out and drive any of these cars, teamoneil.com. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.